Hi guys, it's John from Wargaming and welcome to another video. So today we are unboxing the Elves Booster Fleet for Kings of War Armada by Mantic Games. So let's get into it. Right, so here we go, it's the Booster Fleet. So, this one. Taking the cellophane off so it doesn't shine too much. So you've got a Draken's Fury. So I mentioned earlier on I might consider getting a second one. Well, here's my second one. Then you've got, I want to say that one is called a Wave Dancer, which is a asymmetric sort of two-hulled support ship, it looks like. And then you've got two squadrons of, what are they called? Argus squadrons, so they're tiny little jobbies, so you have two per base. And then you've got the cards that go with them. So, right, let's get this open. So we've got a couple of bags, of resin. We've got two tiny bases and two medium bases. Put them away. And then you've got cards sitting at the bottom. Right, so we've seen at least one of these in my other video, which I'll put a link to, which is the unboxing of the starter fleet. But I'll put it here just for reminders. So the Draken's Fury, so 5 guns on either side and an indirect. Combine that with there's no -1 modifier for range, so that's going to make that really useful. I've got a Wave Dancer, which looks like a actually nice and cheap medium ship with okay, I mean given its cost, okay nerve and structure points, with some pretty decent sort of quantity of firepower, because it's quantity at range in order to try and find crits for these guys is the conclusion that I've come to. And then you've got the Argus Squadron, and the key rule that comes with these ones looks to be Mage Sight, which essentially it's a buff to your other ships. So I need to get the rule out to read it, but that sort of seems to be the key reason to take these, because actually one light gun isn't really a good enough reason, even given how cheap they are. But I think that Mage Sight is the real key in there. So you get two of those cards because you get 2 sets of 2. Right, let's get them put away and we can move on to looking at some resin. I do like Mantic resin. So which one are we going to open first? Right, let's go for this one. In no particular order. Let's see what we get. So this looks like it's going to be some sails mostly. Ooh, tiny sails. It's box, right? So let's see what we've got. Right, okay, so that's Draken's Fury bits. But again, we've got that sort of commonality in sails coming through again. So we've got 2 of these sort of front sails. I'm sure there's a proper name for them. We've got 2 of these larger main sails. That one's a bit bendy, so that's going to have to get a bit of hot water treatment. So that looks like so for each of the medium ships, we're getting 1 of each of those. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these little tiny jobbies which will be going on the tiny little ships. So they're very cute. Looks like, you can just see that through the light, there's a tiny little bubble in that one. Just double check that that's not gone all the way through. No, but I'll need to be really careful with that because that looks like it's really thin. So something to watch there. Again, it's sort of occupational hazard when you're dealing with resin that you're going to get bubbles in it. And you've got the same as another bubble in there, and that seems to be a common place for it. Okay, no, not a problem. I will check out the others just to make sure that we're all good. That's good. So the one gizzard that I seem to have picked up from having a look at this is, right, let's try and get something I can point with that's smaller than my big fingers. Right, okay. Those ones on the inside are nubs. You need them on there, so don't snip those all the way back to the edge. You're going to need that nub there because, from what I've read, that attaches to one of the outriggers, and we'll get them out in just a sec. So have a look. Right, so let's put a large chunk of those away. Let's get the other baggie out. Again, you can see all the shine on those. That's all release agent. That all need scrubbing in a bath soapy water. Good old scrub to get that all cleaned off. Right, let's get the next bag out. Lots of bits. Okay, so where are we? Let's try and get these sorted out in some way. Right, that is Draken's Fury. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the Argus Squadrons. We've got the outboards for the Draken's Fury. Okay, there. And then this is the Wave Dancer, who's got 4 light guns on each side. So, like I said, it's sort of an asymmetric sort of hull shape. So you've got sort of one big one and one little one. Now, those lugs that I spoke to about before, the ones that you've got to be careful not to cut off, the reason why is because they go in there. So that then essentially goes on like that. And then the other side of that goes into there, like that. That all keys in really, really nicely. In fact, see the back end of the of those guns. There's a seam that goes across them there. So that could be. Oh, I think that'll go together really nicely because this is all computer designed. It's all super tight tolerances, so that looks as though it's going to work absolutely fine. But again, I'm going to drill and pin these and get these positioned just right, so then we can just pop the thing on, and then it will hold in really nicely. Okay, so that's Wave Dancer. We've seen Draken's Fury before, so it's got Trimaran. I'll put him to the side, and then let's have a look at this little jobby. So they're quite a cool little ship actually. It's very small. See next to my finger, next to that's a number 2 brush, which is sort of my fine detail wash brush, but it's dry at the moment. you just got these sort of really super tight little details, just a little bit of flashing on the top. And again, just really good quality moulding going on there. There's no issues with slippage across all of these ones. Oh, there's maybe a tiny bit on that, but nothing that can't be fixed with a little scrape with a sharp blade. And that's them all built up. So really pleased with how these come out. I think the only drama I've had is correcting some of the bends on the sail. I still haven't got that quite right, so I'll give that another go before I get them all primed. But in terms of how these come out, I decided that I was going to glue all that one together because I thought there was enough gap in there in order to be able to paint, so I'm pretty pleased with that. Like all of my other ones, I've drilled all the way through and pinned the sails so that the sails can go through and then lock onto the bases. And the base for that one is there, which I've done a 5mm hole and put a 2mm thick 5mm magnet in it, so that essentially that then just pins through into the base, and that's it. Will lock on nicely once that's all painted up. But I'm going to keep them all separate to paint them. Right, so that's that one. So I'm going to put him to one side. Let's look at the little ones next, because I was really pleased with how these came out. I decided to glue them in the end, and I'm just going to paint them up just like that. But I think these are really, really fun little boats, and I think they're going to come out really nicely once they're all painted up. So yeah, you get 4 of those, and really pleased with what they look like. In terms of their bases, again, very similar. Put a 5mm hole in there to put a magnet in, and then I'm just going to put a little 2mm hole in there, so I'll 2mm pin these onto the bases so that they all sink in, and then that'll be that. Cool. And last but not least, the Dragon's Fury. I decided not to glue the outriggers on this one, so I'm going to keep them separately. Again, I've pinned the sail, but in terms of going together, nice and easy, a really snug fit on this cross piece here. So you just got to sort of make sure you sort of dry fit it and get a feel for it before you put it on. Other than that, she's a lovely boat. I think she's going to come out really, really nicely once that's all done. I've got a little bit of bending still to do on that sail just to get it, to get the bottom of the sail horizontal, but I think with a little bit of hot water bending that's going to come out just right. Okay, cool. So that is the booster fleet.